Hello, good evening. This is the homestead. Homestead resident here. This one's going to be a happy video about Pershore Hospital, the NHS. It's not all bad. 99% of the NHS is absolutely fantastic. The story about bullying and prison cell blockage is just two small parts of the NHS which you don't always remember the good parts, but when you have a bad experience of anything, you tell more people about bad experience than you do good. So I'm going to tell you about my experience going into a rehabilitation hospital, basically. Back in 2015, as you know, I went out. I got discharged after being well enough to leave hospital, but I didn't have a care package set up at home, so I went into and I couldn't really walk about. Sorry, I'm telling the wrong story. 2015, as you know, I nearly died. The hospital saved me. Anyway, I was discharged from that hospital, Worcester Hospital, and had to go to Pershore Hospital because they rehabilitated people about getting more mobile than the hospital where I was, Worcester one. So I think it was just called Pershore Hospital, I think, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. And but yeah, it was absolutely fantastic place. I think I was there a month, and they wasn't in any way of going to discharge me anytime soon. But I was like, I want to go home now. You know what I mean? I've been 2 months out of my home, and I was homesick, and the cat was getting looked after by someone, and he disappeared, and the cat hadn't been seen, and so I just said I want to go home. So literally, I just got discharged. So anyway, my time there was absolutely amazing. I went from someone who couldn't walk a few steps without collapsing to walking 8 trips around the block a day. And their block was, I don't know if you know, well, it was like a square building with a central bit missing in the middle. I think it was like a courtyard. And I was on like a 3rd floor, 2nd floor thing. So you came out of my ward and you had to turn left or right, sorry, walk down to like the lift area, which was like the going out, turn right, go down to that corridor, turn right, and in front you've got on the left hand side you've got the stairs and a lift, I think it was, to get downstairs and leave the hospital. But then you've got a corridor in front of you after you've turned right. It's like a square building, but they own 3 sides of it. But the floor's left open so they can walk through. Certain times of the day they have to cut through that thing. So you go out my ward, down left, right. On the left hand side is the lift and the elevators to go down and out, or you can't get along that corridor to a door. Open the door, go through. You have to close the door. They don't leave it open. It shuts, shuts after, and then you go through that corridor. Open another set of doors, and that shuts behind you. There's just like a pull handle down. You can't open it from that side, but you can open it from this side. Um, and then there's an open space there with some, like the laundry where they put all the dirty laundry in. Like, you know, like the cages, you get the food, you know, if you work in a supermarket, you get that big cage. It's a pallet truck with high sides, basically. So it's like 6 foot, the size of a metal pallet, but with 6 foot sides on each of any, and then they chuck the bags of laundry in, and when they're full, they get wheeled away. So then you walk past that, and then you go to a corridor, which has got like a physio room in, where there's like artificial steps going up, like 3 or 4 steps going up a platform and 3 or 4 steps going down, and a few exercise machinery bits, all for regular sized people, for like old people to use to rehabilitate, you know, getting back into society after a long time in hospital, and they need the muscles building up again. And then you go through another corridor, a door, turn right again, and then you just walk a few yards, and then my ward is there, so I turn turn right into the ward. So that's one circuit. But the first time I did it, I just walked, you know, I couldn't do the whole circuit. I did half a circuit, and sat down for 10 minutes, and then carry on going round, back round, you know what I mean? So you did a full circuit, and that was my exercise for the day. They had like a pedal cycle, but one you sit down to and you just sit on it, and it's all it is, like a central bit which hold a resistant bar with a resistor on it. So you turn the knob like 1 to 9, and you turned it, every time you turned it, it's got more resistant on the pedals. But it was when they bought it, it was too small. My legs wouldn't go, I couldn't put my feet on both pedals. So literally I was just doing the one leg and getting tired and not exercising the other leg. And they only had 2 of them in the building, and they couldn't allow me to have both, so I can use one, my right leg, my left leg on the one and the right leg on the other, and like cycle. So I did these trips around the building. So I think I got to like four times around the building in a couple of weeks, and showing good progress, due to the fact that there's physios there, there's dietitians there. I was on a proper diet. You know, I was getting physio, people coming around every day talking about bed exercises and what I need to do and how I do it. And the one would took me outside the Pershore hospital, and there was like not a set of stairs, but like a ramp going down, and there was a alleyway where you'd walk down, and then you had to get to the end of the alleyway and turn around and come back before they would let you go home. And because I was pushing to go home, that was my goal. Because the alleyway come out on the main Pershore High Street, I think, or main Pershore High Shop Road, where all the shops was. So so and I couldn't. That small hospital. It was only a small place, and the staff was absolutely amazing. And literally, at first I was getting walked round with people following me just in case I tripped or fell or needed a seat to sit down. But after the first time I made it all the way round the square, they didn't really need to do that. They just had to count how many times I went past their station, the nurse's station. And I've been in there 3 weeks, or 3.5 weeks, and by this time I was ready to go home. So we had to go outside, and I was prepared to do this walk to, like I say, through the alleyway and along to the main thing, turn around and come back. But I couldn't do it. I was at that, So it took me a few days to do it, but I went out every day and did it. I made it there and all the way back. And and that was my hospital stay in Pershore Hospital, and I couldn't praise them enough. All the staff, all the like the medical physios and that. Yes, they didn't have the proper equipment to look after me, but they had the main equipment, which was a bed and a chair, and a commode over the toilet so I could actually use the toilet, a shower seat so I could have a shower. It was just but again, you don't need gym equipment to get trained and walking again. You just need to do it. And back then I weighed a lot less than I do now. So yeah, I just want to praise it's not all doom and gloom in the NHS hospital for big people. It's just 99% of it is you have good expectations and it's met, and it's that 1% is the bit you always remember, because that's the bit what was traumatic for you. So I weren't saying everybody is nasty in the NHS, and I didn't deserve to be bullied, but but it was my experience of being bullied in the NHS. But no, I just want to thank everybody at Pershore Hospital. I don't know if it's still going or not. The place was like a cottage hospital rather than not as big, miles, way smaller than Worcester Acute Hospital was. But yeah, they deal with physio, and I understand there was I think there was a swimming pool on the but I never got to see it or nothing like that. But I went home back to the bungalow to find that the person who was meant to look after my cat didn't even bother to come, and the cat passed away. I found it a month later in the garden behind some wood. Obviously was starved to death, and I again was found guilty of something that was out of my control, and trusted the wrong person to look after my animal. And yeah, I would never ever do that again. And so yeah, anyway, drink tea. It makes people happy, or makes you happy anyway. It makes me happy. And I'll speak to you again soon.